guys, always remember, with great power comes great responsibility. And now shut up.
Uncle Ben!
Welcome back to the Struggle Session Podcast. I am your host, Hollow Otaku, and as always, I have
K1.
YVE squared.
and Hollow Otaku. With the upcoming release for the new Spider-Man game, Miles Morales, we are just going to straightly talk about Spider-Man because why the fuck not? I've been on the Spider-Man craze, just watching Spider-Man movies. Not all the way through, but just watching my favorite scenes.
Mm-hmm.
So why not talk about Spider-Man, do a little, conversation of Spider-Man, and some Q&A with Y Square on Spider-Man.
So I have a question. Why does Uncle Ben die so many times?
That's the origin story, man. No matter how many times you retcon something, it'll always have the same way of they have to start. Like Batman, his parents always has to die. Unless you do Flashpoint, then it's the opposite way. Uncle Ben has to die in order for him to realize that with his powers comes great responsibility, hence the opening.
Except that one time in the multiverse where Aunt May dies and Ben Parker becomes Spider-Man.
Becomes the Scarlet Spider.
Mm-hmm. But in the equivalent, remember, just as Hollow Otaku started us off, with great power comes great responsibility, i.e.
Due to the fact that he had the spider powers when Uncle Ben died, but he could have stopped the person from killing him, he realized that his powers have a greater responsibility and he needs to save people.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Except for in Homecoming where you don't see him die, which is fine by me.
You don't need those feels in that movie.
Alright, so, I know there have been a few scenes or whatever of Spider-Man in space. I literally had this written down as Spider-Man in space and I couldn't construct a question around it. What is your favorite scene involving Spider-Man in space?
Ooh, there's a good amount of him being in space.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the one in Endgame was actually pretty cool where he gets the Iron Spider suit. But I gotta say, with the Ultimate Spider-Man, where Spider-Man is played by Drake Bell, and he goes with Nova and joins up with the Guardians of the Galaxy to go into space. Like, he just...
Nice.
Yeah, that was pretty good. I love that one. Where he's trying to understand Groot, and he's like, I get it. You're Groot. He's like, no, dumbass. That's his language. You can only say, I am Groot.
And I'll take from the comics and say, seeing as it does count as space, I'll say when he enters the negative zone with Reed Richards and gets the negative suit, and when they're corralling villains into the negative zone prison. So I'll say that is the one because literally his
Would you call that space? I would call the negative space more a different dimension.
But it is
than being in space.
But it's technically technically in between dimensions because it's just literal darkness.
Not space.
But it's not inhabited until Reed Richards builds the prison. So it's technically like space, but it's in between dimensions. I
wouldn't say that would be space. That's just another different dimension.
Yeah, from how you're describing it, it feels more like a subspace rather than outer space in the physical
Thank
space.
you.
So I'll give that. I'll give that. But still, I just say, until
I wouldn't say it's actual outer space. He's talking about outer space.
I'd say it's satisfying enough.
Yeah, because remember, it's still space until Reed Richards makes it into a prison. So once he technically colonizes it, it becomes space.
Colonizer, huh? We're going with white people.
Hey, nobody died in the making of that prison, and he built it by his own hands.
Oh, colonizers! On the note on colonizer, what is your next question? What is your white person question?
Okay. Alright.
Guys, just to let you know, Y Square is not white. He's black. But he's also French, so he's part white.
Not French in that sense. It's more like when my ancestors were at French slave masters.
White.
Yeah.
So white.
White was like
you're like a 16th white. You're still white.
it was more like whipped into my DNA.
Oh,
so it's still you're
okay.
white. I should calm down because time doesn't work. What is your question, White Square?
Okay. So, in your opinion, who is the best and who's the worst Spider-Man?
Just to clarify, this is between like the entire multiverse.
Multiverse? Are you talking about the movies,
Actor,
the shows, the comics?
The cinematic universe.
Okay, so I got this. You got Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, bad Spider-Man, good Peter Parker. You got Andrew Garfield, bad Peter Parker, but good Spider-Man. You got Tom Holland, who's the best of both worlds. He is Hannah Montana. Then you have Miles Morales, who hasn't shown up yet, so we have no idea. But Miles Morales in the Into the Spider-Verse, good job.
Okay, so based on what I've seen, Tobey Maguire did the best puny Parker of all of the actors. Literally felt like the underdog rising. But then when he gets to literally pro Spider-Man, it's just like, it's like
there's no quips. There's no like.
Yeah.
It's not being like the true Spider-Man quips.
Plus, he doesn't
the
get
one
shredded.
thing he tried to do is where Mary Jane was like, "Who are you? You know who I am. I'm your neighborhood Spider-Man," and then jumps off a building. I'm like, you could have done something hilarious there, man.
And plus, when he's Spider-Man, like, pro, he never really moves up. Like, sure, he beats villains, but he never gets swole. He never, like, rises in his career except, now he's a full-time reporter. But, he doesn't really get that Peter Parker bump. Like, honestly, Tobey Maguire Spider-Man is not even in contention to be part of the Avengers. That's one thing I will say.
And also, he doesn't truly have to go through the problem of I ran out of my web shooters. They automatically just gave him organic webbing inside him. Like, he can constantly just web things without worrying, I lost it. But due to the fact that they did it this way, the way that they made him lose webbing is to say he lost his powers.
Okay.
And then when he goes...
And then you have the god-awful Spider-Man 3. Like, holy fuck that movie.
And
where Harry Osborn finds out his dad was Green Goblin. You know what this man did? Instead of being the Hobgoblin like he's supposed to be, he becomes the new Green Goblin and made it look future tech. Which was stupid. It was stupid. Sandman, great job. I loved it. Little cameo of Venom, that was good at the third villain, Make his life horrible, but also try to be like, hey, you want that Sinister Six? I'll give you the fine 3. Like, whatever, man.
And then just the thing of when he tried to be bad Peter, they've screwed that up with the whole dancing. It's like, you are controlled by a symbiote and, being bad, wearing all black, and then doing a nice little jazz thing in the middle.
He was free. But
it just took away.
Listen, you'll get your goddamn rent money when you fix the goddamn door.
True, but then it's just
what was that all about?
And then just his whole breaking point of, oh man, I'm gone bad, is just like what he did to MJ, and it's just like, I don't even know who you are anymore. And he's like, oh no, now I need to take away the symbiote. Like, even the cartoon did a better version of showing him, like, when he actually threatened Flash. And then Felicia says, I don't know who you are anymore. You scare me. That was actually showing it when he was actually going off on Aunt May, going off on Felicia, going off on J. Jonah Jameson. Like, you actually saw that violence in his voice. Like, he was ready to fuck people up.
And then you get the new Spider-Man where they discover it as they were going to put it on the, when they found the symbiote, they were going to put it on the periodic table. But then they find out it's alive. Because of Peter, and it was just a whole shit of like, oh, dude, this is dangerous. Let's not.
And then if you count the Spectacular Spider-Man, when he actually gets it, Aunt May actually suffers a heart attack, and he doesn't give a damn. Like, he doesn't find out later, but like the whole time, he's like...
the Spectacular Spider-Man played by none other than Neil Patrick Harris? No, he was in the sorry. Neil Patrick Harris was Spider-Man, the new animated series.
Oh.
Okay.
But yeah.
Which also, during the Video Game Awards, he also did voice Spider-Man in one of the games. And I fucking love that scene because it was like, Neil Patrick Harris, who the fuck are you? You got 3 first names. I don't trust your ass. And I was like, damn. The Spider-Man he was is like, just roasted his name.
But yeah,
Savage.
but continuing on the Spectacular Spider-Man. So, like, after he finds out Man May has a heart attack, he literally starts pushing all of his friends away because, he has to pay her medical bills and all that. And that literally goes into a sense of he actually talks to the symbiote, and the symbiote tries to say, literally, like, Uncle Ben would still be here if you were actually more powerful. Why not bond with me? Then you'll always have that power. And then that goes into the dramatic Uncle Ben comes back and says, you don't need this, you don't need this. And he actually overcomes the symbiote and actually splits from it thing. And then, of course, that leads to Betty Brock. But literally, that's what I liked about it. You actually had self-hatred and then self-discovery of splitting from the symbiote. In Tobey Maguire's case, you just took it and made it a joke. Okay. So that's my thing on Tobey Maguire. Moving on to Andrew Garfield, it was like he was a balanced Peter, you know?
It was more, what if we gave Peter Parker a backbone in the beginning?
Mm-hmm.
It was more on that because he's supposed to be puny Parker, you know? He's supposed to be, I'm going to be the background character, you know? I'm going to be the one that gets bullied a lot. But this one, good for him. He defended kids. And, he's trying to stop the bullying. But, like, in the very beginning of it, he tried to stop it and then gets his ass beat. But, like, normally Peter wouldn't do that.
Mm.
That's how Peter is. And then when he gets the powers, he just goes overboard about it. As he always does.
Yeah, but just like this one when he first started, with Flash and, like, humiliating Flash, and then after he loses Uncle Ben, he actually puts Flash up against a locker. It was like, okay, yeah, you can have that one moment, but then, like, when he actually starts using the Spider-Man powers, you start to converge into the original Peter Parker. And then as Spider-Man, I won't lie, he was a really good Spider-Man.
Oh, he was.
He had
the quips down, he had the heroism and all that. He was ready to be an Avenger.
Right, like, straight up, he was 100% Avengers top.
Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2, was more emotional Parker.
100%.
Like, super emotional Parker. Out the wazoo, and it was just, didn't feel right, But it's just him dealing with things.
I just say that the one thing I didn't like, I get why he was emotional after Gwen Stacy, but the whole
beforehand,
of, oh man, she's moving to England. Should I go with her? Should I not? That did not need to be in there. Okay, that just really kind of killed it.
I just want to say I called it when I saw the trailer, and none of y'all believed me.
I'll give you that because literally,
when she died, when we all watched the movie for the midnight release, I almost got out of my chair in that goddamn silence and go, I fucking told all of you. I told all of you this, and you're like, oh, it's going to be in the third movie. There is no third movie, and I fucking called it.
Mainly because I thought they would wait till Norman Osborn became the Green Goblin to do it, just to follow the comics. But then, literally, when he shoots the web and it turns into a hand, I was like, oh, yeah.
You're just like, oh, Otaku was right.
I'll give you it. I will give you that. Like I said, as soon as the hand came out of the web, I was like, yeah, we know where this is leading.
Even Thousand Regis knew during the movie when she had to go to England, they're like, yeah, she's going to die. Because there's no way they're going to let a character go. And also, in the trailer for it, he cries hard. And I go, Gwen Stacy died.
Yeah, but just like the one
None of y'all believe me, but okay.
But just the one thing that I will never forgive the entire series is literally cutting it off just before the Sinister Six, and then the hinted that we were going to get Norman Osborn as the Ultimate Goblin, because Ultimate Goblin is still my favorite version of the Green Goblin, and I so wanted him to be in them.
But Ultimate Goblin's supposed to be for Miles Morales.
No, it's actually for Peter Parker, because in the original comics Ultimate,
when they were going to put him under, it was going to be for Miles Morales. That's what might be hinted for if Miles Morales becomes Spider-Man during Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Yes, but like the thing
But
is,
that's what
is
they're gonna go with.
but it's like in the movie where Norman Osborn dies, and then you find out, oh, he's frozen, and then Dr. Octavius is literally working on him because you see his frozen corpse. It was supposed to be that he develops the cure for his disease, but that turns him into Ultimate Goblin. So that's what they were kind of hinting at.
And then Tom Holland. Great masterpiece, an Avenger. But Andrew Garfield said it kind of best that he needs to lose Tony Stark. Once he loses Tony Stark, he could be a better Spider-Man.
Which literally
So, Peter Tech.
Yeah, that has to be at least by the fourth. If they go into a fourth movie, he needs to already just kick up Peter Tech.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right.
That's what I'm hoping for.
But Tom Holland, great Peter Parker, has the awkwardness, has like a little backbone, but it's just right. Mm-hmm. And then the Spider-Man of the excitement of everything, the quips, everything. I fucking love it. What is your next question?
Do you think any other actor could make a comparable, if not better, Spider-Man?
Ooh, that is
hypothetical.
Is this open to any actor?
It's open.
Okay.
Ryan Potter as the what's his face? The smart Asian one. The Cho. Artie Cho.
Oh, okay.
Artie Cho that becomes like Iron Spider in different iterations of the comics.
Right.
That would be a cool Spider-Man because he doesn't get the powers or anything. He just has the suit and he's smart. That's one. As a different, but for Peter Parker, that's I just wanted to put my 2 cents about Ryan Potter, who is also Beast Boy in Titans.
I mean, seeing as it is a rumor, I mean, Emma Watson as Spider-Gwen, I can see that working.
No, we're talking about Peter Parker. I just want to put my 2 cents in on.
Well, I'm just saying, seeing as the.
Oh, wait, here. Are you saying any Spider-Man or just Spider-Man Peter Parker?
Any Spider-Man.
Okay. So.
Donald Glover. I just want Donald Glover to be in the new movie. I'm just saying. Okay. I don't know why Tom Cruise just ran through my head just to be old man Spider-Man.
Jeez.
Man, I want to throw in a suggestion. Michael Cera.
You can leave. You can fucking leave. You don't let that awkward man come into these movies. All right.
Well, I guess if we're
that's why he made a perfect Scott Pilgrim.
Yep.
I guess if we're gonna go dark, Keanu Reeves as Spider-Man Noir.
Oh, okay. Fucking no! No. I want live action one, just to be. So. Nick Cage, thank you.
Really, it took you that long for Nick Cage.
Bro, his name drew a blank. All I could think about was Community. I was like, where Abed was trying to be Nick Cage, and I was like, who the fuck was that actor?
Come on, Rubik's Cubes and watching matches.
Yeah, no, but I would love a live action of that one. But, you mean Keanu Reeves as Spider-Man 2099? Maybe, can we get old man Spider-Man 2099 as Machete?
Yes, yes.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yes.
Fuck yeah. What's your next question?
I have run out. It's outpacing any coherent questions I was.
But yeah, no, I fucking love Spider-Man. He is my favorite Marvel hero. Always.
Look, I'll say he's not my full-time favorite, but he's my favorite Saturday morning hero.
He's my
out of everything, favorite. When I was a kid, Spider-Man, that was anything. It didn't matter how many.
Oh, dude, when the Black Panther animated series came through with the Avengers Assemble, and they had Spider-Man, man, that was fucking hilarious, dude.
I won't lie, Spider-Man episodes, they always are so hype.
Dude, Spider-Man and Deadpool episode was the fucking best. And it's careful, there might be booby traps. Traps. Have you there? You said you had some questions?
So next up, it's going to be a bit of a trivial.
This is me for quizzing. Give me the.
No.
I need to be calm-minded. You're not being asked questions. Thank you. I need to be calm-minded. You'll get it next. I promise.
Okay, so we're going to move on to Spider-Man trivia, which will be about all of Spider-Man's games, with a few trick questions thrown here and there, and this will be all to Hollow Otaku. So, let's go ahead and get started with the first question. And these are all multiple choice, just to let you know.
Oh, thank Christ.
Okay.
Hang on. Before you give me, I'm going to give my stupid guess, and then give me my multiple choice.
Okay. And what square would you like to join into this?
I probably wouldn't get anything somehow.
Okay, just square. Okay. Number 1. In the very first Spider-Man video game published on the Atari 2600 in 1982, which of these was not an element of gameplay? A. Scaling a skyscraper. B. Defusing bombs. C. Fighting the Green Goblin. Or D. Shaving Mary Jane Watson.
God. For the Atari?
Yes, Atari 2600.
Oh, man. I did that. My stupid thing is saying defusing a bomb. I don't think Green Goblin was in there, too. God. I haven't played it in forever. Fuck! I'm gonna go C.
That is incorrect.
Was it B?
The correct answer was D. Saving Mary Jane
Jane.
Watson. Because I remember that game, and yes, the Green Goblin was actually the final boss.
Green Goblin.
Okay. Number 2.
God.
Which studio, later known for its work on Call of Duty, developed the much-laundered Spider-Man 2 game for PlayStation?
THQ. I don't know. Is it really that answer?
Was it A, Infinity Ward, B, Trebek, C, Raven Software, D, Sledgehammer Games?
Fucking shit, 2 of them were actual ones. God damn it. What was the first 2?
A, Infinity Ward, and B, Triarch.
Memorizing all the symbols. Let's go with A.
And that was incorrect. The correct answer was B.
B. God damn it, I knew it! It was one or the other. I was like picturing shit.
Okay. Now, question number 3. Spider-Man appeared in the 2005 fighting game where he and other Marvel heroes faced off against
Capcom. So it's Marvel vs. Capcom.
Against
2.
a new slate of characters introduced by Electronic Arts. What was its subtitle? Was it New Age of Heroes? A.
Shit, it wasn't that.
B. Next Dimension. C. Battle for New York. Or D. Rise of the Imperfects.
Oh my god. God damn it, I thought I was gonna get with Marvel vs. Capcom. God fucking damn it. Repeat this?
So it's A. New Age of Heroes. B. Next Dimension. C. Battle for New York. Or D. Rise of the Imperfects.
I want to say C.
That is incorrect. It's D. Rise of the Imperfects. And I remember because this was the only Marvel fighting game EA ever made.
Marvel vs. Capcom.
You were close because A is New Age of Heroes and that is Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why I didn't choose A.
Okay. Question 4. Spider-Man famously nailed rail grinds and kickflips as an unlockable character in which skateboarding release?
Skater 2.
A. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. B. Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam. C. Tony Hawk's American Wasteland.
Is it an A?
D. Tony Hawk's Underground.
Fuck! Shit! Oh, wait.
And
It's A. It should be A, right?
that is correct.
Yeah.
Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. 1 up. Okay. Question 5. 2010 Spider-Man's Shattered Dimensions included Spidey characters from multiple universes.
Spidey 2099.
Which one of these Spider-Man heroes was among the playable leads? Was it A. Miles Morales, B. Gwen Stacy, C. Ben Reilly, or C. Miguel O'Hara?
You said C twice! It's D!
D.
It's D!
So your answer is D?
Yeah, Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099.
Okay, that was correct.
Yeah, I know. I said the answer. You're like, let me get these. I was like,
I was just trying to finish the whole question before.
I knew what it was.
Okay, number 6. Spider-Man teamed up with the X-Men in a 1992 Super Nintendo game to take on which supervillain? Was it A. Magneto, B. Doctor Doom, C. Arcade, D. Venom?
I'm just gonna shoot my shit and say
That was incorrect. It was actually C, arcade. And remember, when we were doing that, I told that whole story about one of my favorite games about Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Okay. And number 7. In 2018, Spider-Man's Peter Parker befriends Miles Morales and convinces him to help out where? Is A, the Daily Bugle,
Oh, no. It's the fucking home shit. The homeless shelter.
B, a homeless shelter, C, Oscorp, D, Spider House.
It's B!
That is correct.
Yeah!
Number 8. Which one of these is not the name of a Spider-Man video game? A, Spider-Man, Toxic City. B, The Amazing Spider-Man, Web of Fire. C, Spider-Man, Friend or Foe. Or D, Spider-Man, Maximum Venom.
Toxicity.
That is incorrect. It's D. Spider-Man Maximum Venom is actually Spider-Man Maximum Carnage. Okay. Number 9.
Man, I'm doing shit.
Spider-Man is just one of over 300 characters who can fight blank as the final boss in Lego Marvel Superheroes 2.
I can play as all of them.
So, do you fight A, Kang the Conqueror, B, Loki, C, Galactus, or D, Lex Luthor?
I swear to God, if it's D, I swear to fucking God, we're done with the stream. Galactus. God.
So that is incorrect. The answer is A, Kang the Conqueror.
Okay, thank Christ. I was ready to stop the stream.
Okay. And, of course, running into the final question. Spider-Man, blank. Is it A, makes a lot of Spider Jam? B, he's a real anchor man. C,
does whatever a spider can.
that was C. And D is based off a real person who lived in New York in the 1970s, man.
I swear to God, if it's D, I'm gonna hit stop and C.
That is correct.
Yeah, I thought so.
So,
Why did it really say Spider-Man, blank? That's fucking stupid. It's fucking stupid.
okay, so doing the tallies up on all.
Don't worry about the tallies. I know I fucking lost.
Well, just saying you got half of them correct, so you came up. You just moved a little faster. You could have saved Gwen.
There's no way of saving Gwen! Gwen will always die unless you're in Gwen's universe where Peter dies. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
But on that note, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Otaku, and as always, keep moving forward. We'll see you guys in the next video. And always remember, guys, orange is sus.
And we'd like to also thank Game Informer for this quiz. And remember to pick up Spider-Man Miles Morales.
Also, on a sadder note, guys, on the date of recording this of November 8th, 2020, Alex Trebek has passed away. Rest in peace.
Alex
The
Trebek.
most amazing game host ever.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace.